we've talked a lot about when it comes to like hare and hound racing or just desert racing, incorporating live GoPro.
I know.
Live
How
streams.
sick would that be?
It'd be insane. And
You'd be freaking on your phone and you're like toggling between which rider you want to live stream.
Oh yeah, Formula One style.
And it's like showing their position, like their third, and then there's like a mini map where it shows their GPS coordinates on the, like, it'd be so sick.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I would almost argue that, I know there's talk and rules involved with not running GoPros on the helmets, or at least in certain spots, but I'd go, well, if you're able to watch them the whole time, that's almost safer than,
Yeah.
well, not really. Like, they're worried about rotational impact and like the cause of a crazy injury.
But you could argue
for most things,
you could argue that the cost of a delayed response to a rider in off-road racing is as equal priority as possibly altering, the impact. And I think that's such a silly way, because it's like, well, you have a freaking visor. Like a visor is a way sharper thing that can impact. It's not as heavy, but it's designed to break away. Well, then just make GoPros break away. Just make a design for a action cam to break away. It's such a pathetic excuse to me to limit the growth of a sport when action cameras are at such a level now.
They're incredible.
Yeah. I mean, they're flying FPV drones inside a stadium for Supercross, and you can't even tell because the camera quality is that good that it's live streaming from that FPV drone. Like, we're at this point where it can be done in off-road. And so, like, I am not a fan of that AMA rule. And so I think that, you could argue that from a lot of perspectives. And I think that they're just missing they're just missing an opportunity. Like, that to me is the biggest thing. It's not like, oh, well, we just, like, I approach it because it's our job and we love it. But I'm like, look at the sport as a whole. What could you do if you implemented this more? Like, particularly in off-road racing.
Well, I mean, that was the routine. It used to be when Supercross would happen, is GoPro would post videos, POVs of the riders, and I'd watch them every single week. I'd watch all of them. I'd watch, like, specifically Ken Roxon comes to mind. Who doesn't want to watch any of those top guys wear a GoPro, especially in a race? Like, it shows so much more of what's going on rather than having Jason Thomas stand in a rut and go, look how deep this is. How about you show a GoPro POV of Plessinger getting sideways in that rut?
It needs to be mandatory, and cameras are to a point now where battery life, quality, size is like they could make GoPro or any of the action cam manufacturers, I mean, they could make specific models that have reduced battery life that are freaking this big now, that are going to do 4K. They're going to be able to transmit well enough. I mean, look at how big the freaking camera's on your iPhone. I mean, like, you could put that in the mouthpiece.
If they were truly, if the number one and only reason was because of rotational forces, like causing an injury, like, they're doing all sorts of custom things. What if it was just implemented so that that's not even a possibility into the helmet somehow?
Just integrate it literally into the mouthpiece. Yeah, we've experienced enough, like, either above the goggle spot or into the mouthpiece. Just integrate a lens.
Yeah, it's so, especially this year, like, they're sponsored by Instacam 360, and when do you see them?
Nothing.
Never. The only time I've seen them is when they slap it on Benny Bloss's chest and I watch his nuts hit the seat. That's the only time that I get some POV footage of Supercross nowadays.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, like, it is very frustrating. And we're so passionate about it because we run them at all our races. And I mean, supposed to or not, like, I guess to some extent we're taking that risk of slapping it on our chin. Like, they're not necessarily breakaway the amount that we use, but I'm not saying that can't happen. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's not like, why completely stop it? Well, if that's a problem, let's figure out a way to fix that problem and still use them. That's the approach that needs to be taken. Like, I agree that, it's not great. That's why they've made visors breakaway now.
Yeah.
It's just coming full circle now, because that's just more exposure. It's just more advertising. And I was, at the beginning of this conversation, I was more referring to off-road. Absolutely, it's a must-have that measures need to be taken inside Supercross and motocross. Like, that's just a complete missed opportunity. But there's lots of advancements, and I think opportunities still to come when it comes to off-road racing, like we were talking about. Phones are pretty much, I'm sure, capable of connecting to Starlink now. GoPro's can connect to your phone, and we've talked about that. I don't know why we haven't tested it yet, but I think right now, currently, you could live stream your GoPro at a desert race.
Yep. As long as you have internet, you can live stream.
Yep.
You can live stream if you have internet. So we just need to get the Starlink phone and then start live streaming them.
Thanks for watching. If you want to listen to the full podcast, you can find all Ride with the Knights Show episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.